Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Bet just $5 on any NBA team and win $150 in free bets if they're victorious when you sign up using that promo code PHNX. I'm joined as always by Johnny Venerable after a Christmas Day defeat. Johnny, how are we doing?
Not great. Listen, we got to spend time with our loved ones, and that was great. But the Cardinals sucked it up again. I am very disappointed in this organization. We're going to talk about it later on PHNX Cardinals. Shane's going to join me, but I kind of teased it in my tweet that are the Cardinals worth betting on the rest of the year?
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of money on them over the last 3 weeks. I've been sucked in. Every week I've said going into the Cardinal game, really starting with the Rams game because that line was really big. I said, I'm not going to bet on them. And then we get closer and I get sucked into everything. I was literally driving to the stadium on Saturday, on Christmas Day. And I had the DraftKings Sportsbook app pulled up on my phone. And there were all of the COVID miscues going on with the Colts offensive line. And I could still get them at -2. And I put a significant amount of money on the Cardinals. And I am saying right now, I am not doing that again this year. I'm done. Over the last 3 weeks alone on this organization, I have lost in the hundreds of dollars, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of doing it.
I feel that I've stayed away from the spread in the last couple of games, but I didn't stay away on my Deef and Lock over the weekend. If we want to pull that up, the under in that game, easy money.
That was easy money.
We could just see that happening. So that was the Deef and Lock. Now we can pull up the Johnny Jackpot. Stinky.
Hey, Packers, you guys got 4 interceptions and you couldn't win by more than 7. Like, what are we doing? I think that game to me, yes, that's my first lock in like 2 months that hasn't hit. I think that game to me basically cast doubt over the Packers being a Super Bowl lock, like to run the table. You see the yards per carry they're allowing this year. They're second to last in the NFL. We complain about the Cardinals' run defense, and rightfully so. Packers are giving up the second highest yards per carry of any team. They're 31st in the NFL in that category. That to me, I was watching that game. I'm like, yeah, the Packers are going to win, but they're a little bit fraudulent. So my lock didn't hit. Said more about the Packers than I did the Browns.
But that's all right because I think you sweeped in your picks. If you want to pull those up from over the weekend, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you did. There you go.
I almost did Texans lock of the week because that game, that Charger game, Chargers coming off a win the prior week. They lead the NFL in Pro Bowlers. They're sniffing their own farts, right? They think they're hot shit again, and then you look up the Texans. Blew them out. Davis Mills, sneaky
elite
quality. Yeah, well, some would say no, but that number was huge. We've seen how well the Texans have played this year. David Culley, their head coach, tremendous job. Rams -2.5. That was easy money. Yeah. That game was really never competitive against the Vikings. Rams are going to win out. And then what was my last pick? Bills +2.5. I love them against New England. That first game they got kind of screwed by the weather. Yeah. Like 50-mile-an-hour winds or whatever it was. So, 3 for 3, whatever. It's boring, but it's part of my life.
Yeah, I took the Bills money line as a lock on the tailgate show that you weren't there for. That I missed you a little bit, Johnny. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I got home after a rigorous Christmas Day football slate at about 1 in the morning. I drove into Maricopa. And then it was my day to also get up with the kids. So I was up at 7. But I did watch the show on my phone while also streaming Paddington Bear. So that's what my Sunday morning looked like. But yeah, I'm sorry I missed you guys.
Shane talking and Paddington Bear is like cookies and milk. It just really goes well together.
No, it was a horrible combination. My wife slept in till 10, so that was much deserved.
All right, we'll throw up my picks from the weekend as well. I had a push actually in one of them. Cleveland and Green Bay, they hit exactly 46. Bengals -3. It moved to like -7.5. That still hit. I mean, that was just so easy, especially after the Golden Jacket comments. He threw for over 500 yards. If you had T. Higgins,
that was only -3 last week, even with Lamar. Like, what is wrong with Lamar? Does Lamar have like a bowel?
I was about to say that. If you started Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase in fantasy, they would have put up like 120 points combined or something. It was just ridiculous.
My God.
And then Jags money line. Come back to me real fast, Leah. Guys, I said this prior to the urban speculation of him being fired. Urban's not the problem. It's Trevor Lawrence. He is ass. He isn't good. I mean, maybe his progression and he gets there later and figures it out. But right now, he is not a good rookie quarterback. Nobody is except for Mac Jones. And it shows you it's not just his lack of talent on the field right now in the NFL. It's his decision.
Their receivers aren't bad.
No,
like Kyler Murray had significantly worse receivers as a rookie. You go like they've got like Marvin Jones is very capable.
Yeah.
The questions were coming into this year. And it was the same kind of questions that we got from, who was it? Does he love football? Right.
Yeah.
Remember that was a legitimate question. Like he says he like doesn't spend a lot of his time like watching football. And it wasn't his life. It was just a part of it. And, Twitter ate that up. But like, I think those are real questions because when you aren't inherited by an organization, a blue blood franchise, like if you were to go to like a Pittsburgh or something like that, I think it would be ingrained in their culture. The Jags don't have a winning culture, and it just that pick is. Are we going to look back on that pick and we're going to be like that? I think Rose is the biggest bust of the last maybe 20 years, given how bad he's been. If Lawrence was supposed to be a generational prospect compared to Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning,
he's number one.
That could be a disaster.
Yeah. Look, and it's not just his decision making with checkdowns and going through his progressions, which he doesn't do. It's his decision making while trying to run an offense. You're the head of the offense, and it was exemplary on the last play or the last two plays. It's 3rd and goal. You have plenty of time, 20 seconds left, and you clock it. You clock it at the 3 or the 4. What are you doing? So you only have one shot, and then
football IQ in the toilet.
Virtually nothing. So that should have hit. I was so upset by that. They played well. It was a fun game to watch. So that was unfortunate. We'll get to my props over the weekend before we get into the New Orleans game. For over the weekend, not this one. It's okay. There it is.
Okay.
Both of them hit. Courtland Sutton had the first reception of the game, and then he didn't catch a ball for so long. He ended up with 4 or 5, I believe. That was so easy at plus money. And then Josh Allen over 22.5 completions. He finished with 30. That was easy money as well. So give me both those to the bank, and then we'll pull up Johnny's. 1 for 2. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, 1 for 2. Are you sure that's not 2 for 2?
Yeah, I just checked Carson Wentz. He was at 223 or something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Jonathan Taylor finished the 108, I believe.
Yeah, and he did. And the Cardinals, listen, they're undefeated when he goes over 100. And so I basically de facto picked them to lose. Here's what I'm not loving. And I told Saul this on the postgame show, PHNX Cardinals, Saturday night, that Taylor had that one big run to begin the game, right?
Yep.
And then everybody's like, they shut him down. It was like 2.5 yards per carry after the fact. I don't care how elite Jonathan Taylor is when you don't have your offensive line, when you're missing essentially 4 of 5 starters, like that was not
should have been 16 for 32.
Right. Well, that's not an indictment. I don't want to put this. Cardinals defense didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not impressed with the Cardinals defense. People are going to look at that score and say, well, they only gave up 22 points. I saw it live. They were bad.
Yeah.
They did not take advantage of that offensive line. That they did enough in the run game. Yeah. Nobody played well in that game. No one in the Cardinals outside of Budda Baker and Chase Edmonds and maybe Chandler Jones can go and lift their head high in that facility today. Everybody else did not play well enough.
Well, guys, if you would have taken our picks over the weekend, you would have made some money yourself. We're here every Monday through Friday at noon. Come join us. Get your juicy, sweet picks here only at the PHNX Sports YouTube channel on PHNX Daily Bets. And if you want to, if you need a betting platform to bet on, use the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download it today using that promo code PHNX when you sign up. Bet just $5 on any NBA team. And if they emerge victorious, you get $150 in free bets. It's just that easy at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. There's props and everything you can ask for. You can bet on Ian Book tonight, who actually is the cousin of one of my fraternity brothers, former Notre Dame quarterback. So that's fun. We get to see a little Ian Book action tonight. And you can bet on his rushing yards. You can bet on him to score the first touchdown if you want. That's all available at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But that's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Johnny, what are we thinking for tonight?
Geez, it's a bad night when I got to put significant funds on Tua, but that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the point now with this New Orleans team. Did you see the reports over the weekend? They were calling Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees to see if they wanted to come out of retirement to lead this team, and both of them said no. Hardest of passes. I have all the respect. If the Cardinals had Sean Payton, I think they'd be the Super Bowl favorite. That's how elite of a head coach he is. But there's too much disarray right now. Their offensive line isn't great. The receiving core is terrible. I don't care how good their defense is. I think Miami will do enough in this game to get a W. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They dug themselves in too big of a hole. But if we could get my picks for tonight, I'm going to go with Miami -3. They're on the road, but minimal travel, Miami and New Orleans. And I also just think, Chano, that, listen, as much as I dislike Tua as a player, I can't deny that what he does well is something that will win you a lot of games in the NFL, even though he is not the driver. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Kyler Murray. He will put the team on his back, but he doesn't turn the ball over. He's accurate, right? He's got that pea shooter on, but he is, to me, like peak Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. And that can win you. Teddy Bridgewater went to the playoffs with the Minnesota Vikings. That's what this team reminds me of. Defense, they've got some quality skill players. I'm going to talk about those gentlemen in a second. They've got a quality tight end. They've got Jalen Waddle. So I think they do enough offensively. I think 20 points is probably going to win this game.
Yep, I was just about to say that. You can pull up my picks now. I'm seeing a 20-16, 20-13 victory. I got Miami -3 in the under 38. Guys, when the under is that low, it's that low for a reason. They could blow us out of the water, but I don't think they will. You obviously saw last week the Saints blanking Tom Brady. So this defense is playing very well, but I think that was kind of an outlier game. There was good game plan and division stuff. You just really don't know. This Miami team is different. I don't think they get it done on the ground, which I'll talk about in my props, but I think Tua definitely does enough. We'll just segue right into my props actually now. I got Jalen Waddle score the first touchdown. I just think he's one of the best receivers in the NFL right now, and this offense doesn't really have much to go on. But that also ties in with these two last props. The reason why the Saints defense is so good, I mean, their secondary has been a lot better, but they have the number one rushing DVOA in the entire NFL right now, and they've had it like that for a while. So I don't think Gaskin does anything. I mean, as a fantasy owner of Gaskin, he's brutal to watch. He can do a lot out of the backfield passing game, but I don't think he eclipses 40 rushing yards at all tonight. I'm going to put some serious money on that. I really don't see that happening. I also that this ties in with Tua. I like his over 10.5 rushing yards because I feel like they might get frustrated at some point and he might just try to run for it. Or they might even do an RPO with his little rusty legs. So I like that over 10.5 rushing yards.
Why are his legs rusty?
Because he's a dirty little stinker.
I know. Okay. Rusty.
Doesn't he just feel rusty to you? Like the way
he feels broken. Well, he feels broken because
he's broken and he's been sitting in the garage.
Didn't his kneecap explode at Alabama?
His kneecap explode. His rotator cuff exploded.
I feel like coming out, people thought he was much more mobile than he is. He's a pocket quarterback with some plus mobility, but he's not a runner. Yeah. And man, like the situation where he was taking over Justin Herbert just looks worse and worse. I know that like Miami's playing better football right now than the Chargers, but I mean, come on, Herbert's been inconsistent, but he's just got all the tools. Tua, like you go back, like is Tua even the first round pick? He probably goes like late second, probably. Mac Jones to me has been much more impressive. Let's go to my props. Again, I don't. We're probably going to be in a lot of trouble here because we're fading the Saints, and they have the better head coach and they're at home. But Mike Gesicki, anytime I see a tight end who is capable in the red zone in a team that has limited weapons outside of Jalen Waddle and Devontae Parker. Parker hasn't even been that good this year.
No.
I like plus 1,200 a lot.
Yeah, love this
Listen, Gesicki is a phenomenal red zone threat, and I think that you can throw on this New Orleans defense. Now, as Shane alluded to, they're very difficult to run on. At the end of the day, I don't think Miami even cares to run the ball. Their offensive line is incredibly finesse. So I think Tua is going to have probably over 35 attempts tonight. I think that they're going to ask him for the first time in a while to say, okay, we're going to need you to throw us to win the game tonight. And then on the flip side, the Kamara anytime TD. I don't really know how New Orleans scores outside of Kamara.
Yeah.
They've got injuries at receiver and a quarterback. Kamara is going to be fed. That's a passing or rushing TD for those of you who don't know. So minus 110. So if you want to parlay all three of those together, that's extra tasty. But the first we are due for a first TD, so I'm going to go 1,200 right there.
That's something you alluded to. His passing attempts. You can bet on that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's at 33.5 right now. I like doing this for this type of situation when you don't like Dirt Tua that much, but you know he's going to have to throw a bunch.
Right.
I think he eclipses 33.5. I think that's a good number. It'll be close, but I like that.
Yeah.
So guys, send us your picks on our Twitter or talk to us on the Discord. Become a member at gophnx.com. 50 cents for your first month, or just under $60. Get a free T-shirt for an annual membership as well. Got sticker packs. Got new shirts dropping all the time. Shane merch might come out soon. No Johnny merch though.
That's sad. Mm-hmm. Shane merch.
Yeah.
That sounds like spam. If you click this Shane merch T-shirt that's coming on PHNX, your computer will get a virus and blow up.
Become part of our family. We're really nice to each other. It's been a pleasure as always. You can see us you can hear us on the PHNX Cardinals podcast dropping later today. You can also see us or hear me on the ASU audio dropping later today. We'll be talking about
Big Bowl Week coming up. Special boy for Bowl Week.
All of the COVID complications with basketball. The LA road trip was canceled, so that's unfortunate. Don't forget to use that promo code PHNX at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. Follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Leave a 5-star review if you're listening on audio. Subscribe if you haven't to the YouTube channel. Leave a like. Say something nice in the comments, and we will see you here tomorrow at noon. Peace.